Mitch McConnell has now been missing in action for over 6 weeks with only 2 photographs, allegedly, showing that he is in fact still alive. And even though those photographs were taken more than a week apart, he was wearing the exact same outfit and for some reason wearing blue jeans, which is not something one would be wearing, right? Like, you're not going to squeeze yourself into a pair of blue jeans when you're in a hospital. In fact, most hospitals won't even let you do that. They may allow you to have like pajama pants of some kind or sweatpants, but they're not going to say, yeah, go ahead and put on your Canadian tuxedo there. No offense to my Canadian friends. And let's see what's happening. But Mitch McConnell's staff has now come out and released another statement about how awesome he's doing. Here's what they said over the weekend. The senator continues to meet with staff regarding Senate and Kentucky business, including discussions on defense appropriations, foreign policy, the Farm Bill, constituent services, and constituent federal grant requests. As the senator continues to improve in rehab, we will be sure to keep you updated. Yet no pictures.
They don't have any pictures. How could they produce pictures of somebody who's not with us anymore? Keep going.
No videos. He's well enough to be fully dressed, meeting with you all, having intense conversations about all kinds of stuff that's very important and takes a lot of brain power to understand and be able to do, but y'all can't even snap a quick photo? None of y'all could just whip out your cell phone real quick and be like, Mitch, smile for a 3-minute video and tell us how you're doing so I can put it out as proof of life. You can't even do that. That is odd. In a day and age where just about every single human being on the planet is walking around with a phone/camera in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all can't get us a video.
You don't even need to go no further there. You don't even need to go no further. Because I'm tired of these people. Tired of this whole administration talking to us like we can't see what's happening in front of our eyes, right? Happening right in front of our eyes. Misappropriation, stealing, scheming, lying. Ain't y'all tired of that? Ain't y'all tired of the lack of transparency? For 6 weeks, 6 whole weeks, Mitch McConnell has been missing in action. One of the most powerful politicians in the history of the United States Senate has not been seen in public, has not voted on the floor bill, has not delivered a single live, unscripted word to the people he was elected to represent in the state of Kentucky. And what do we get from his office? We get dry, drip-fed, carefully crafted, scrubbed PR statements. We get a single-stage photograph released to the media in jeans. He got jeans on in the hospital. Are you serious? People only have jeans on when they're walking out of the hospital, when they're walking on their own 2 feet, not somebody who's in the hospital. We get these vague notes from doctors telling us he's working hard in rehab. And now, right on cue, we get the announcement. Oh, I'm sorry, but Senator McConnell won't be able to make it to the Fancy Farm picnic this weekend, blah, 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 blah. Fancy Farm, the premier political event in Western Kentucky, couldn't make it. A tradition he hasn't missed in 42 years. A place where every politician who gives a damn about Kentucky stands on a stage and looks at the voters in the eye. But suddenly, Mitch can't make it. He's missing. We're supposed to just nod our heads and say, well, okay, hope he feels better. No, I'm not playing that game with you people. I'm done playing the game with this administration. I'm done playing the game with the Republicans. I'm done playing that game. Let's stop pretending this is just a story about an 84-year-old man who's recovering from a fall. This ain't just about healthcare. This is about power. This is about a political machine doing everything in its power to drag this man's little title past a specific date, August 3rd, so they don't lose control of a Senate seat. Because this has to go on. This charade, whatever you want to call it, has to go on until August 3rd. They are running out the clock till that date. and they think everybody's too blind or too stupid to understand what's going on, or too misinformed to notice the game board they're trying to play on. Let's lay out the legal reality, because this is where the real trick is being played. Why are they hiding him? That's the question. Why are they hiding him? Why won't they just be honest about his condition? Follow the dates and then follow the law, okay? In 2024, Kentucky Republicans passed the House Bill 622. Why did they pass that law, you say? Because Kentucky has a Democratic governor, Andy Beshear. Under the old rules, if a U.S. senator died or stepped down, the governor got to appoint a replacement. But Republicans didn't want a Democratic governor putting a Democrat in Mitch McConnell's seat. So they anticipated Mitch McConnell dying. So they passed this law, this 622 law, so Beshear couldn't be able to appoint a Democrat, because Beshear is a Democrat. So they didn't want him to have that power. So they made a law specifically saying it has to be done before such and such a time, August 3rd. So they stripped the governor Beshear of his appointed power. They said, no. Vacancies must be decided by a special election. Okay, now look at the fine print of that law. Under the statute, if a vacancy occurs before August 3rd, it triggers the legal process for a special election to fill out the remainder of the term. A special election where the voters of Kentucky actually get to decide who holds that seat. August 3rd is the line in the sand. If Mitch McConnell resigns, or his office admits he is medically incapacitated, or he's dead before August 3rd, it triggers a special election. The political machine has to go to the voters immediately. They have to defend their record. They have to run a campaign in the middle of a high-stakes national political environment. But what happens if they drag this technically? What if the Republicans drag this technical status, Mitch's technical status, past August 3rd? The special election mechanism changes. The seat sits empty or gets dragged into the standard general election window without a separate special election to fill the immediate void. Now, this is the thing. They want to take the power away from Andy Beshear. That's why Andy Beshear is calling for proof of life, because they're lying about Mitch. Mitch is either incapacitated or he's dead. It's one or the other, because they're continuing to post stuff that doesn't give us proof of life. They have a picture of Mitch in the same shirt he had on last week, but he has a pair of jeans on. Nobody in the hospital, rehab, or whatever is going to put you in a pair of jeans. Nobody. So we know the picture is a fake, a fraud. They get to avoid that special election to protect the brand. They keep control of the narrative. Every single photo that has been released, every vague press release, every line about he's doing intense physical therapy, blah, 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 bullshit, is calculated for one purpose: to buy days up until August the 4th. I told y'all that a month ago. This is what they're doing. Mitch is incapacitated. They're trying to steal the Senate seat from a Democrat who could be appointed by Beshear. They are dragging him across the August 3rd finish line like a runner who's collapsed before the tape. Not because he's capable of doing his job, but because stepping aside today gives the public a say in who has that Senate seat before they want you to have it, before they want you to have the say of it. The Kentucky people are going to have a say in November, but they would have an earlier say in this session for Mitch's seat if Mitch was incapacitated or dead. So the Republicans are hiding the fact that he's incapacitated or he's dead. Now look at how they treated us during the entire 6-week ordeal, this whole thing. He fell on June 14th. Emergency audio from dispatch mentions chaos, CPR, unconsciousness. For weeks, what did his office say? He is receiving excellent care. That's it. No details, no breakdown of his injuries, no explanation of any of why a sitting senator disappeared off the face of the earth. Nothing. Governor Beshear himself had to step up to a microphone and publicly demand that Mitch McConnell show proof of life. Show Kentucky people a proof of life. give us a real health update. And only after public outrage started to boil over, only after rumors started flying that he was literally on life support and no longer with us, did they suddenly start scrambling to release a statement admitting he was briefly unconscious and had pneumonia. Now they're sending out these pictures. Then when the pressure built up again the next week, what did they do? They released a single stage photo of him sitting next to his damn wife. He ain't nowhere near his damn wife, and she ain't nowhere near him, and he ain't nowhere up sitting up taking no photos. A picture is not a press conference. A picture does not prove cognitive presence. A picture does not prove that an 84-year-old man who suffered from childhood polio and has frozen twice on TV live in 4K in front of the whole entire world is currently able to evaluate legislation, analyze intelligence reports, or cast votes on behalf of millions of Kentuckians. When regular working people get sick or injured, do we get to send a photo to our boss and say, hey, boss, I'm okay. Hey, don't worry about where I am for 6 weeks. I'm doing great. See you. We don't get to do that. Why the hell should he get to do that? If a school teacher, an assembly worker, a bus driver, or a nurse vanished for 6 weeks with zero direct communication, they'd be fired by day 3. But in the upper halls of the United States Senate, you can hold one of the most powerful offices in the United States or the free world and ghost a motherfucker on your job while your staff handles the paperwork and issues quote after quote after quote of bullshit in your name. That is not public service. That is a ghost ship dictatorship. And who pays the price for all this? The people of Kentucky. Kentucky has 2 United States senators and 1 Democratic governor. Right now, for all practical purposes, they only have 1 senator. Important votes are happening in Washington every single week. National policy, budget reconciliations, negotiations, judicial confirmations, foreign affairs, and Kentucky's senior seat is sitting empty in practice. Over 38 Senate votes have been missed by Mitch McConnell since he's been in that hospital. Think about the sheer arrogance of that. They would rather deny their own state full representation in the highest legislative body in the world, in the country, than admit that this 84-year-old statesman is physically unable to finish his term. They'd rather y'all go without. They lecture us about the American people, transparency, about constitutional duty, about accountability. But when it comes to their own power, accountability goes straight the fuck out the window. They are protecting a seat, not the state. They are protecting an election strategy, not the citizens of Kentucky. When a Democratic politician stumbles or misses a step, Fox News runs 24-hour red alert. Red, just at the extreme high, they need to get rid of him. But when Mitch McConnell freezes on camera, he froze on camera twice, fell down once, repeatedly, I guess, maybe, and disappears in a rehab facility for nearly 2 months. His colleagues line up to tell us, oh, Mitch is fine. He's tough. He'll work it out. Leave him alone. Let him alone. The double standard is fucking thick. It's so thick you can't cut it with a knife. So let's call this what it is. Mitch McConnell's team is playing defense against a health issue. They're playing defense against the calendar. They're lying to the American people. They're trying to clear this hurdle. I guarantee y'all, watch for August 3rd come next week. Watch the date, August 3rd. Then you're going to start hearing shit about Mitch McConnell. Then you're going to start seeing some shit. They trying to hold out until August 3rd. And that idiot Bashir, Governor Bashir, is going right along with it. I would have called they bluff. You done triggered the session. No, we can't wait. We don't have proof of life. We can't do it. They don't have proof of life. He's not alive. He's not alive. They want to bypass that legal mechanism on August 3rd that gives voters a direct, immediate vote. I'm not attacking I'm not attacking Mitch McConnell for having health problems. Growing old is human. That's just what it is. Okay? Illness is human. Polio complicates, that complication is real. We can have human empathy for a person's physical struggles while firmly rejecting political deception. If Mitch McConnell is mentally sharp and physically recovering, but in front of a camera, come on out and say what you got to say. Come on out and let us see what it is in front of the camera. Let him take 3 unscripted questions from reporters. Let him address the people of Kentucky in his own voice, in his own way, live on video, 4K today. If he can do that, fine. But if he can't do that, if he's sitting in a rehab facility unable to speak or talk or walk or perform his sworn duties, then stop holding the seat hostage. The GOP is holding the seat hostage. See, this is why we can't depend on Republican having power. Because you will do the most deceptive and devious shit to keep power. Stop making staff members write statements in his name. Stop using old PR tactics to trick the public while you wait for August 3rd deadline to pass. The United States Senate does not belong to Mitch McConnell's staff. It does not belong to the GOP. It does not belong to party strategists. It belongs to the people. And the people deserve a senator who is actually present, actually working, and actually accountable. Stop running the clock out. Stop hiding behind staged photos. They need their representation. Now, a well-known blogger went to Mitch McConnell's hospital. A well-known blogger. He went to Mitch McConnell's hospital and he said they moved Mitch McConnell. But I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this tape right here. I want you to see this. Uno momento. I want to hear a family relative or somebody call Mitch out.
For yet another edition of The Conspiracy Report, once again focused on that guy who might or might not be alive. And so what's happening now is they gave us a second photo, right? You can take a look here. The first and second photos, over 45 days of Mitch McConnell supposedly being in rehab. This is the 2 pieces of evidence that he's alive that they have presented. And I look at it and I think, okay, it looks like the guy is alive. I don't see any clear evidence of AI or whatever. But bear in mind, I don't know Mitch McConnell and I don't know Elaine Chao, but some people do, and they think that this image is actually pretty suspect. So a family friend of Mitch McConnell's wife is saying he doesn't think that image of her on the right, the new one, is real. And this is where we get into arguably ridiculous stuff. Because when you take a look at this, here's what he had to say. I've known members of the Chao family, specifically Elaine's apolitical sisters, Grace and the late Angela, since our college years. I can't imagine Elaine, one of the most put together people in existence, releasing a pic wearing a thin shirt over a visible black bra, untucked. Just implausible. And I assumed when I read that that's got to be satirical because, first of all, we all looked at the image, right? When it came out, we did a story on it. Did any of us even notice that her bra was visible? How did you even see that? And then, like, okay, her shirt's untucked. She might have been in that room for 2 hours or whatever. So that struck me as a little bit strange, but he does have more evidence. He also says, Elaine is depicted wearing a $12 Chico's shirt. Holy crap, she would rather die. Now, I can't assess the plausibility of that claim because I don't know what Chico's is. But they are wealthy. Sharon, do you know what Chico's is?
So, this was a friend, a relative of Elaine Chao, of Mitch McConnell's wife. The photo he seems to think is fake. We all seem to think it's fake. As long as he's not on videotape, it's fake. It's fake. As long as he's not on videotape. He needs to come on videotape. Okay? He has been gone long enough for them to have called for this special election. Now, Bashir should have called for that special election before, but he still ain't went full throttle on the doggone special election. That's what I don't like about him. This is the one thing I don't like about him. He won't go full throttle. He says, I'm addressing this letter to Senator Mitch McConnell under the assumption that he is capable of reading and responding verbally, and not incapacitated by means of consciousness or cognition. If the senator is unable to respond for either of those or other conditions, consider this letter a demand for his Senate staff to be honest and transparent with the people of Kentucky. Governor Andy Bashir. Now, y'all know, and I know, he would have been on camera to defend his job. He should have been on camera to defend his job. This is when Andy Beshear should say, Mitch McConnell has until the 30th, the 31st, or the 1st, he has until the end in order to present himself in 4K so we can see him and see that he's breathing and see that this is truly Mitch McConnell. Now, this right here is a wuss. This right here is you're scared. You're scared to call him out because you might get embarrassed. But you're the governor of Kentucky. You should be calling Mitch out from day one. You should have called him out from day one. 5 weeks in, you should have called him out 2 weeks ahead of this August 3rd. See, this Beshear is a Democrat, but he's still playing the game with all of them because they all play the game together. He should have been done called for the special election. He should have been done called McConnell's bluff, but he's scared to call McConnell's bluff, okay? Because otherwise he would have did it already. If you're going to do it and do it swiftly and don't pay attention to all those people that's behind you. Oh, we don't want to. We don't have a special election. We don't want. No, you need to call this type person's bluff. The GOP is lying to the people of Kentucky. The GOP is lying to the people of the United States, and they're circumventing the Senate, and they're circumventing the election rules that they put in place. They already took away the power for him to assign somebody to the seat. They already took that away from him and told him he had to have a special election. Now he finna go along with them. He finna go along with they bullshit and allow Mitch McConnell to get away with that. I guarantee you next week they're going to start some bullshit. Mitch McConnell, he's sick. He went back into a coma. He went back into his head injury when he fell was so bad that now he's in a coma. They're going to pull some bullshit like that. Y'all watch for the news that comes out of Kentucky on freaking Mitch McConnell's health. Watch the narrative that starts to come out after August 3rd. Because they know they're past the deadline for August 3rd that can't nobody do nothing about. They gotta go to the regular election in November. Hopefully you Kentuckians understand and vote their asses out. Hopefully you vote his ass out. Anybody else that wants to take Mitch's place that's a Republican, vote their ass out. Because they all know that he's not well enough to do that Senate seat. And they running game on y'all. That's what they doing. And that's what they always do. They run game on. I've never seen this kind of activity. The Republicans have had 2 people this year who disappeared. One dude disappeared for depression. I don't know what the hell was going on with that. He disappeared for depression. And then Mitch McConnell disappears like this. And then y'all in these states, you Republicans just allow that kind of garbage. If it was a Democrat, y'all wouldn't allow that shit at all. Stop running the clock out. Stop hiding behind photos and false pictures. Give the people that representation that they deserve, or get out of the way and let them get representation some way, somehow. And that's what I got to say to that. But let me read some of these. Thank y'all. I appreciate whoever came. I appreciate whoever shows up for the show. I appreciate all of you guys. They said they're scared to death that whoever they run to take his place will lose to a Democrat. It is what it is. The Epstein files show the Democrats are pedophiles. Are you serious right now? We're not worried about we're not worried about all of them. We worried about your lover boy. We worried about your orange king. Okay. Democrats are evil pedophiles. And I think that's on your side. But that's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. What is it? It's about time. Wake up all your friends, because most shit's on the way. Well, we're calling for a National Day of Fasting and Prayer Against Prejudice. Let's hope it happens. He's dead. Mitch is dead. Republicans will not concede power without a fight. They will deceive their own mom and the whole power. Yes, who are we talking about? We're talking about Mitch McConnell. Mark my words, of his demise will come the day after the deadline passes. Yes, it will. For there to be a special election in Kentucky once that day. Of course. Watch this. Oh, well, Mitch took a turn for the worse August 4th. Mitch took a turn for the worse. We got to do X, Y, and Z. Watch them say some goofy shit like that. And only a goofy like Andy Beshear would believe that, because I don't believe it, because you guys have lied before. I have keep explaining this and explaining this. Republicans don't want to govern anyone. They just want power. They don't care how they keep it. They don't care how they get it. They just want power. They just want to be able to rule over you and collect money from the American people. They don't care about the American people in that particular regard. They just want power. They have no idea how to govern a unique and distinct electorate like this United States. This group, this group of the administration, this group of senators and House members on the Republican side, this is the group. They have no concept as to how to deal with a diverse electorate like we have. Because otherwise they wouldn't be pushing for this immigration like they're doing and letting people get killed right in the middle of the street just for no willy-nilly, just for a civil infraction. Republicans have never known how to govern. They've never known how to govern. They've only won power. It is what it is. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate it. I will be back with more content tomorrow. I appreciate all of you guys showing up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate